problem 1.3, which discusses how we can use proportions to solve problems involving percents. And the strategy we're going to use to solve these percent problems is by using percent bars to help us set up proportions. So let's take a look at an example first. Latasha bought a concert ticket. She doesn't remember how much the price of the ticket was, but she remembers that she paid $1 in tax. Sales tax where she lives is 8%. She drew this percent bar to help her find the price. So this percent bar here, the whole bar is worth 100%, and she labeled on here that 8% was $1. The percent bar helps us visualize a proportion that can be used to find the original price of the ticket, which would be represented by the question mark here. If you kind of see, we want to figure out 1 times what is 100, and we would do 1 times what is the question mark, 8 times what is 100. So this is kind of our proportion. If we were to write this as a proportion, we'd have the equal sign right in the middle. We'd have $1 over 8% equals question mark dollars over 100%. So here we have that if we wanted to solve this, we'd take 100 divided by 8, get our factor of 12.5, multiply that by 1, and we'd see that the original price of the ticket was $12.50. So that's an example of how the percent bar can be used. So let's take a look at the specific of a percent bar. Okay? The top of our percent bar always represents the numbers, and the bottom always represents our percents. So this is going to help us set up proportions where we have number over percent equals number over percent. The end of our percent bar is always 100%, which is going to be what we would consider the whole amount. If we're thinking about a quantity, it would be the whole. What we're going to do is insert a break in our percent bar at the percentage that we're talking about. So Latasha, we were talking about 8%, so we inserted a line at 8%, and we knew that the part amount was $1. So the part percent was 17, the part amount was 1. And then we used that to solve our proportion. So let's take a look at another example of how we'd use a percent bar. What is 17% of $147? A couple steps that we can follow. The first thing we always want to do is just set up the percent bar. So we're going to draw our rectangle, label the zeros on the left and the 100% on the right. Those are the 3 things that we know right now. Secondly, we want to insert the information we know and a variable for what we want to find. So in this problem, we know that 17% is going to be our part here. So I'm going to add the line and label it 17%. I know that my whole amount is 147, so that's going to go above my 100%. And I want to know what is the 17%, what is the part amount, so that goes above 17%. That's going to be my variable. Now the percent bar gives me a very easily visualization of my proportion, so I'm going to write my proportion. X over 17 equals 147 over 100. And the last step would be to solve the proportion. We know to do that, we're going to draw arrows from what we know to what we want to know. Find our scale factor here. It's 17 divided by 100 is 0.17. Multiply that by 147, and we get that X is equal to 24 and 99 hundredths. So 17% of 147 is 24 and 99 hundredths. Sometimes we're going to start or have a problem that involves percents that are more than 100. And in some situations, a popular situation would be Susan goes to buy a new bike, and the sales tax in Pennsylvania is 6%. So we need to know what's the total amount that she's going to pay. There's a lot of strategies that we can use to solve this problem, but we're going to use a percent bar so we can see the process that's needed anytime we're going to deal with a problem that involves something that's more than 100%. The first step is always the same. Set up your percent bar with your zeros and your 100%. Next, we're going to put the information we need to know in. So we know that the 100% price of the bike is $139. Okay? We know that tax is added on. So added on to that $139 is 6%. So added on to the 100% is 6%. So I'm going to add a box that represents 6% to the end of my percent bar. So now I'm at 106%, and I know that the value I'm trying to find is the 106% because it's the 100% of the original price plus the 6% for the tax. So right here I have another proportion that I can set up and solve. I have 139 over 100 is equal to x over 106. Steps to solving the proportion, arrows from what I know to what I want to know. In this case, to find my scale factor, I'm taking 106 divided by 100. I get times 1.06. So 139 times 1.06 is going to give me that the original or the total price including tax, would be $147.34. So these are the steps that you can use anytime you need to solve a problem that involves percents. Some of them maybe seem simple, but we want to get in the process of using the percent bar so we get these steps down so that we can find the answers to any problem, no matter how complicated they may seem.